Okay, sorry guys, we're live. Sorry for the delay there. So we're gonna getting some guests on, and that's just a work in progress. But hopefully, Footy Live will be on for the show. But anyway, hey guys, Old Man G here, back again. With, you could say, a sort of a Saturday Night Live debate, discussion, Q&A. Who knows? But we're gonna get stuck in there because unfortunately on the Friday I wasn't able to do, or at least post sort of my reaction to the Europa League round of 16 draw, and I thought it would be a good idea to actually just go for it, so I'm going to come to Manchester United's draw against LASK in a second, but I think it would be a good idea actually to just sort of go through step by step the individual teams, who I think is going to come through the ranks or not, who I think is going to go through, who I think is maybe a dark horse for the tournament. Who knows? So, but before I get into that, if you're new to the channel, please like, share, and subscribe. To Red Devil Studio. Follow us on Twitter at WeUnitedX. And smash that notification button for the latest Manchester United news. So let's crack on and get into it. So obviously, team at the top, first one is Istanbul versus FC Copenhagen. So Istanbul Başakşehir FC. I think this is their first time actually at this stage of the competition. I actually thought it was going to be. I actually thought there's going to be like a Fenerbahce or a team like that was actually going to get through to the knockout. Well, get through to the round of 16, but Fenerbahce, Galatasaray, all these sort of teams are basically nowhere to be seen. And Istanbul have basically got through, so fair play to them. I give them props, give them a lot of props for what they were able to do getting through to this stage. They actually beat Sporting Lisbon, which is the team that Bruno Fernandes came from, which just goes to show you just how much Bruno Fernandes actually contributed to the Sporting Lisbon side. The fact that they were sort of battered by them is amazing. Abdullahi, can you hear me? I've got Abdullahi in the back. Let's have a check. Abdullahi?
How you doing, man? I can hear you, man. How you doing?
Hey, I can hear you. Awesome. Okay, adding to the stream. Awesome. Yes. Thank you, Abdullahi, for coming on. So, and says just anyone who wants to come on, Rasmus says, well, hello, sure. If you want to come on, please click the link description. So, Abdullahi, we're basically just having a discussion. Well, we're reacting to the Europa League draw, and then afterwards, sometime we're going to just talk about whether United can get top four. Is that good?
Sure, no worries.
Cool. Okay, so basically, Rasmus saying not Europa League related, but how Watford pulled that off is beyond me. I've got no idea. Let's actually talk about that before we go into it. Abdullahi, what do you think about this Watford result against Liverpool? Is that
for me? I said it from day one. I don't know if you listen to me on HH Hangout.
I do. Yeah.
Liverpool. This year they've been very lucky this year to win. Last year too, they were clinical last year.
Yeah.
This year they were not clinical. The way they were last year is different than the way Liverpool are this year. Liverpool has been supported with VAR this year. VAR. That has been the way they have supported this year. The way they win is Trent Alexander-Arnold, Andy Robertson, Sadio Mane. These are the three people who has been helping Liverpool. Salah is off. He should not be playing for Liverpool anymore. He should remain on the bench. I'm serious. He should remain on the bench for his entire career.
Okay.
He should for life. When I mean for life, he should not even step in that field anymore.
Okay.
Mane is the only one that can play for that team, man.
Okay.
They said they'll be very lucky this year. So Watford beating them is not coincident to me. I know it's gonna come. I know, but a relegation team beating, my goodness, no. No, it's relegation 19th in table, 19. My goodness.
I mean, Man City lost against Norwich City. At least we forget that, and they were at the bottom of the table when that happens. Is it different?
Man City are not unbeaten. People know that they're gonna lose because they have loopholes in their team. This Liverpool team doesn't have a loopholes. This is the greatest unbeaten team I've ever seen in mind. After the Arsenal match, this is the greatest unbeaten I've ever seen. Losing to a 19. My goodness, no, I cannot say this. 19. Oh my God.
So quick. So do you think, before we go on to the Europa League draw, do you think that this is worrying regarding Liverpool obviously hosting Atletico Madrid.
Yeah, this is
at Leverkusen because
Atletico will be watching this match now. They will watch this match, and Diego Simeone will watch this over and over and over and over again. He will watch this more than 20 times, and he will give his players, each of them, go and watch this video at home. I will not talk. Go watch this at home. That's the topic Liverpool. You know what they need in Africa is just score one goal. Is game over.
Yeah,
just one goal is game over.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think for me the concerning thing for me right now, looking at Liverpool, is that they don't seem to be able to. It's like dare I say, it's almost like watching Manchester United in a way, in the sense that they can't seem to break teams down. You know, exactly. they as soon as people put 10 men behind the ball, they can't seem to break teams down at all, which I think is very strict. Whereas United now, because we've got like a Bruno Fernandes in the team, it seems that we actually are able to sort of cut teams open a bit more and actually do things, you know. So I agree with you. I think that
but getting Bruno Fernandes is good, but the problem with Bruno Fernandes is if you have an attacking team who play a block, it's gonna be difficult for you guys to bring them down because Bruno can't do everything. Bruno Fernandes cannot do everything.
He can't. You're right.
He can only do few, but can't do everything. Because if you play a team, maybe someone like, let me say, Burnley, that plays 4-4-2 every time, it's difficult to break down Burnley and Wolverhampton Wanderers. Those two teams, my goodness, and Sheffield United, those three teams in APL, is very, very difficult to break them down. It's very difficult.
Yeah.
Because they will hit you on the counter. They will hit you on the counter, and that's it. So getting Bruno Fernandes is a plus, but it's not really the plus. You need another creativity that can support Bruno. Bruno is not the only one because people will target Bruno. People will leave him now because this is his first season. Second season, people will go on him. They will target him next season because they know is the creativity in that team. They will go with him.
I mean, this is obviously Paul Pogba will be coming back into the Manchester United side. That should hopefully at least give Manchester United some momentum. But I agree with you. I do think that Bruno Fernandes can't do it by himself, and he needs really support. But anyway, let's get into this Europa League draw result, man. Yeah, I think we had another guy sort of coming on. I don't know if fully live if you can hear me. I'm still waiting for you to come on, but let me know if you can. So Istanbul Başakşehir versus FC Copenhagen. First and foremost, did you actually expect Istanbul? Because Istanbul actually beat Sporting Lisbon. Did you actually think that? Are you surprised by that? Do you think that they? Because I was surprised by that.
I was watching the match. The match I was watching was Sporting was leading before Istanbul came back to win. So I was like, wow, what the hell is going on? Because I think this Europa League this year is the most surprising Europa League I've ever seen. It's even more interesting than the Champions League. The Champions League is not interesting, but this Europa League is getting interesting a lot than the UCL. Because a lot of teams are taking this Europa League serious. Everybody wants to win it.
Yes,
they're really taking it serious. They want to win it, and they don't even care.
Yeah,
they don't care. They want to win it. It's more interesting than like the last year, last 2 years, last 3 years. People want to win something here. People even prefer winning the Europa League than winning the Champions League right now.
Yeah. I think it's because you get the regulars, and to be honest, there's no result really in the Champions League. That was really unexpected. I mean, yes, Atletico 1-0, but they were at home, and Atalanta beating Valencia. But really, most of the games actually that were pretty much expected. We expect those teams to, as you said, in the Europa League, there just seems to be a lot more competition, a lot more teams going out for it and actually wanting to actually win, because obviously they know the prize at the end of the tunnel as well, and a lot of big teams, in as well. So I give props to Istanbul. I think it probably also shows just the impact that Bruno Fernandes actually had on Sporting Lisbon as well. But yeah, fair play to them. FC Copenhagen, on the other hand, beat Celtic, and had a Celtic fan on the channel a while back who said that he expected them to do it. But unfortunately, FC Copenhagen beaten Celtic away. So out of these two teams, who do you think actually is going to go through?
I'm gonna rely to a little bit on Copenhagen because I watched their match. So I think Copenhagen can do it. I think they can do it. What they need is just go on away goal and go to your house and defend. If they can score a lot of goals away, they'll go out. They'll go home and kill off the entire home. But I think I'm gonna rely on Copenhagen to win the match.
Okay. Fine. Okay, fair enough. Copenhagen. So over 2 legs, or Copenhagen will win.
Yeah, exactly.
Go through to the quarterfinals. Fine. the next two I think are going to be very, very interesting. Okay, and that is Olympiacos versus Wolverhampton Wanderers. I watched briefly.
That is my favorite. Well, that's what I choose. That is my favorite. I'm serious. Yeah. I have just 3 favorites to win it. Just 3 of them to win it. And those 3 they've really done me so happy. Those 3 I chose Inter Milan, Wolves, and Rangers. Those 3 of them I chose. Those 3 teams I choose to win it.
Okay.
So but Wolves is my favorite to win it. They are my favorite to win. They are
really okay. Yeah. Do you not give Olympiacos, because obviously it was a massive shock, especially to a lot of Arsenal fans who genuinely thought that they were going to get through, and yet Olympiacos knocked them out, which kind of shows, at least for me anyway, it shows the determination of the team. You know, they were away from home. They lost obviously the first leg, and went away from home to the Emirates to score 2 away goals. Now I don't know whether that is, you know, I think people need to give credit to Olympiacos for the way they played against Arsenal. But obviously, there's also a testament that Arsenal, as a football club, you know, I'm seeing all the celebrations now, and it's fair enough that Liverpool aren't going to do this unbeaten record thingy, which is fine. But at the end of the day, that was what, 2003 or something like that, almost 20 years ago. And what have Arsenal actually achieved as a club since, you know? So the fact that like you're now essentially a mid-table team, you know, says a lot. So, but anyway, but Abdoulaye, out of these 2, who do you think do you see going through?
Wolverhampton Wanderers, Wolf.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I gave it to Wolf already. So that's my whole time. Like, these are my favorite to win it. Any other person? No. These are my favorite to win because I already chose them to win it.
Okay. Okay, fair enough, buddy. Okay. So moving on, I think this is a tough game. It's Rangers versus Bayer Leverkusen. Rangers.
Wow. I'm already getting afraid already because I chose Rangers, but the way Bayer Leverkusen are playing, I'm scared. I'm getting scared already.
Yeah.
Because the way Bayer Leverkusen are playing, my goodness, I'm not gonna take my eyes off them, man. Those teams are really playing magnificent football.
Yeah.
My God. Kai Havertz, or what's it? Is it
Kai Havertz, yeah, Kai Havertz, yeah.
My God, what a talent, what a player, man. My goodness, my goodness. I'm even getting scared of even choosing him as my favorite. I'm serious because when I watch Bayer Leverkusen play, I was like, what the hell is this team? God, my goodness, this team can go all the way to win this thing, man.
The fact that Manchester United aren't in your favourites, it says something. But we'll come to Manchester United later. We'll come to Manchester United later.
I'll tell the reason that. I'll tell you the reason that I don't choose them as favorite. Okay. I will surely explain the reason.
But Rangers for me, I think. I mean, maybe you could argue is it Steven Gerrard as the manager? You know, is it? But I do think that Bayer Leverkusen probably do have this. I just don't think the Scottish League is strong enough now to go deep in a competition. However, at the same time, Rangers have had a lot of good results in Europe, and you know, a bit of luck. Maybe they could go to the quarterfinals. Who knows?
It's possible. Yeah, anything is possible in football. I never write off football. Anything is possible.
So, but you'd probably, if you were a betting man, you'd probably put it on Bayer Leverkusen, though.
Yeah, but I will rely like in my head. My head says Bayer Leverkusen, but my heart says Rangers.
Right.
Wow. Yeah, I mean decisive in both of them. I mean, because the way Leverkusen are playing this year, I'm even scared. I watched all the Europa League match. My goodness, if Chelsea were in that Europa League, I'll pray to God not to face them. I will pray because they are so good, man. They can tear you apart.
Yeah. No, fair enough. So moving on to that. So Wolfsburg versus Shakhtar Donetsk. Wolfsburg versus Shakhtar Donetsk. I think this is an interesting one. So because Wolfsburg are sort of okay in the Bundesliga, you know, I wouldn't say they've been great, but they've been okay. Shakhtar Donetsk obviously sort of flying high in Europa League. From what I recall, Wolfsburg, they beat, who did Wolfsburg beat again?
I think
Malmo. That was it. Yes, Malmo. Yeah, and Shakhtar Donetsk, they beat, if I recall, Benfica. You know, so obviously Portuguese Portuguese champions. So if I'm a betting man, I would go Shakhtar Donetsk. Do you disagree, Abdullahi, or do you think that
I'll go Shakhtar? I'll go Shakhtar Donetsk. I will.
So over 2 legs. Okay. This is going to be an interesting one, actually. So Inter Milan versus Getafe. I'm looking forward to this game, actually. Looking forward to it.
Man, I will not put my money on both of them because Getafe are so good right now. They beat Ajax. My goodness. And Inter Milan are so good too. My worry with Inter Milan is, will Antonio Conte rest the players because of the Serie A, the Europa League? Because he has too many players. Romelu Lukaku, Sanchez, Lautaro Martinez. So, is he gonna rest a lot of players, or is he gonna be playing all these 11 players in the Europa League? Because now, the more they go deep, the more the competition go deep. The more the players gonna get tired. So how will they recover from Thursday to Sunday? So Conte needs to rotate those teams. If you can rotate very well, I think I'm gonna slide in like 80% on Inter Milan winning this.
Fine, okay. I think my concern of Inter is just that I just don't know whether they'd be able to keep a clean sheet and stop the away goals. You know, so Getafe have shown, especially in Liga, that they are capable of scoring goals and scoring a lot of goals, quite frankly. You know, so it's no mean feat. As you said, they were able to beat Ajax, and they're where they are in the Liga for a reason. You know, so you're right. I think Inter Milan, you know, it could be one of those things where, especially because of how tight Serie A is right now, because I think right now Lazio, I think, have gone top because Inter Juve was cancelled due to coronavirus. But if obviously Inter Milan somehow beat Juventus, then Conte is probably thinking, well, you know, I see that Inter Milan, their goal, I think, is probably to win the Serie A. I think that's their
priority. I don't think they're gonna win it this year. Maybe next year. I don't think they're gonna win it this year.
Who do you think is gonna win it this year?
It's gonna be tight. I'm lighting. Before I said Inter Milan, but Inter Milan are fucking me up. They are seriously fucking me up in Serie A. So I will literally slide on them Lazio because Lazio has a better goal difference than Juventus and than Inter Milan. The only thing Lazio will pray for is if Juventus lose 2 games back to back or Inter Milan lose 2 games back to back, is game over for them. It's game over.
Just a quick comment from Erasmus A. Shouts out, Rangers lost to Hearts today and were knocked out of the cup. Hearts is bottom team in the Scottish Premier, so not a good team. Rangers might get back against Leverkusen if they perform like this. Completely agree with that. I completely agree with that. It's just that the nature of European football sometimes people get to perform better in Europe in a competition than they necessarily do in the league. The only thing I guess I would say, just going back to Serie A is just that Juventus have shown that they slip up, and if they couldn't beat Lyon, a team that is aren't they like 11th in the seven? But you know, that's mid-table. You know, I would anticipate.
I think they will come back. They have Mr. Champions League, so I'm not worried. They will come back.
You bet.
Champions League.
Mr. Champions League.
I'm serious.
I agree.
As Ronaldo plays for that Juventus, is game over. Any team is game over. As long as he plays, because he will always come out and rescue them. He will rescue them. So I'm not worried about it.
No, I hear you. I think the only thing is, from the league point of view, he should probably be able to get them back. My only concern is that with Juventus would just be whether or not in the league, whether they're likely anyway to drop additional points.
They will drop points. They have to play Inter Milan. They're still gonna play Lazio.
Exactly.
They're gonna play away again. They play, I think, AC Milan.
They
play a lot of tough matches. They will surely, if they drop point against Inter Milan one and they drop point against Lazio again or AC Milan, the season is over for them. It's over.
Fair enough, Abdullahi. Fair enough. Right, moving on to next after this. So Sevilla versus Roma, actually. Sevilla versus Roma. Roma beat Ghent, obviously, in the last round. And Sevilla, if I recall, let's just get
they draw. They draw.
Yeah, CFR Cluj, if that's pronounced it. But so it was a 1-0. What do you think? Because Roma obviously are, I think they're 5th in Italian. Sevilla not too far as well. It seems like quite an even contest. I actually can't call this one. I think I would lean towards Sevilla, but Roma aren't doing too badly. So what do you think?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna lean towards Sevilla too. Me too. I think I'm gonna lean towards Sevilla too a little bit because, like, kind of where I'm looking the Europa League, I think I'm gonna lean on Sevilla too.
So, and what's your main reason for it as opposed to Roma?
The way I watch Roma this year, like Roma is a good team, but the problem with Roma is inconsistency. That's my word with Roma. It's inconsistency because when they reach the final third, their decision making is poor. So compared to Sevilla, so I won't put my money too much on them Roman, because how can I trust them in European League round of system? They're gonna show up how. So that's my worry. That's my worry.
Fair enough. But I was going to say, do you guys think Juventus' poor performances is all down to Sarri?
Yeah. Because Mauricio Sarri, for me, I said it to all Juventus fans, especially Juvenal. Mauricio Sarri is not the right man. It's not the right man for Juventus. I keep saying it. Ronaldo is not a winger. Ronaldo is a goal poacher. Play Cristiano as number 9. Do not play him as a winger. Why you play him as a winger? It's not. It doesn't work. It won't work. Play Ronaldo as number 9, then get a winger who can cross the ball in for Ronaldo to score a goal. If you want Juventus to like do well in Champions League and dominate the Europe, dominate the Serie A, you need a winger and a goal poacher. You get a goal poacher and Cristiano. Buy a winger who can cross in the ball to Ronaldo to score goals week in and week out. I'm not sure they can do that to Sarri. Are they gonna back him? I doubt it.
So you think that Sarri will be sacked at the end of the season?
Yeah, they said if he loses to Inter Milan, he will be sacked.
Is that what they're saying? Really?
Yeah, that's what I had.
Really? Oh, right. Okay. Well, that'd be interesting. Well, who will they bring in though? That's just the only thing. Are they saying they'll bring back?
I'm hearing Massimiliano Allegri.
Allegri to come back. Is that what they think? Right. Okay. That's interesting. Very, very, very interesting. Right. Okay. So we both said to Sevilla. So last 2 games before we I think, dissect how Manchester United are going to go into things, because that's the point of the show. It's not Eintracht, so basically it's Eintracht Frankfurt that are through because Salzburg have got knocked out. So Frankfurt versus Basel. Frankfurt versus Basel. How do you
easy that go? Easy. Eintracht Frankfurt. Easy.
Frankfurt.
Okay. Easy for me.
Okay. Why is that? Is that just because they're just
no? Frankfurt has been good this year. So for me, like I'm gonna even close my eyes and say Frankfurt because they've been really good. All Bundesliga teams this year in Europa League has been top notch. All of them in Bundesliga this year have been really top notch.
Not even just the Europa League, but also even the Champions League. I mean, look at Dortmund, and Bayern Munich. The Bundesliga seems to be people keep saying about Premier League versus the Liga, but the actual reality is that
Liverpool has made the Premier League look like a farmers league. So
that is true. That is true. It's true. And I said, like you said,
imagine Pep Guardiola. Imagine Pep Guardiola 22 points ahead of Liverpool. So it's already a farmers league already. It's not Pep Guardiola's fault. It's Liverpool. It's the EPL fault because people under Liverpool can't even challenge them for the EPL. That's so bad. So
obviously they obviously lost to Watford still. So there you go. It shows that they're not actually invincible or anything like that. So, but
exactly, they've been disappointed from the beginning of the season. People are not saying that they have been the way their first match they won 4-1. I saw a loopholes in that team. If a clinical team go to that Liverpool, they will beat them in Anfield. Just like Atletico. I keep saying it. I told they change already. Atletico will go with the game plan to Anfield. What they do is score 1 goal and defend with their entire life. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Liverpool doesn't have what Liverpool are missing is a creativity player.
Yeah.
That's who they are missing.
Yeah.
They need a creative player who can bring up from the midfield and to the striker.
Do you think Keita not being there because Keita and Ox were sort of the players?
I think they need more than Keita. They need the creativity. I think
like a Bruno Fernandes almost.
Exactly. Someone like Paul Pogba who can take that play. It will close his eyes and pass. That's who they need in that team. They don't need to. They have enough wingers. They have right back. They have left back. They only they continue that loss. That is the key of them because losing continue is a big. People may say, Liverpool lost continue. Continue is the main success of that team because he's a creative player. Yeah, he's a creativity player. He knows how to create.
Yeah, you could also
lost him. That's it.
You could also argue. I mean, I know this might get a backlash, but also Henderson. To be fair, I'm not saying this, but like as soon as Henderson stopped playing in that team, Liverpool been playing worse.
Exactly. And he's not gonna even play. He's not gonna play against Atletico Madrid. He's out of Atletico
exactly. I think this happened again. I think I'm working off in Brendan Rodgers' era where Henderson again got injured, and that was when they ended up not being able to win the title. So obviously,
but I think they'll win it this year.
They won the title this season. But I'm just sort of saying that for all the grief that Henderson gets, when a player is out of your team and you start losing games, that's when you know the impact of that team. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Just like Chelsea, when Kante lost, then it's over for Chelsea. When N'Golo Kante is out of Chelsea team, getting injured, it's over. I'm serious.
It's probably over for Chelsea regardless. Let's be honest. So
I'm serious because he's the most important player in our team. If he get lost, that's how to beat Chelsea. Just take Kante out of the team. Forget about the rest of the team. Take him out.
The best way to beat Chelsea,
he gets injured. You will beat Chelsea.
The best way to beat Chelsea is put Michy Batshuayi up front. That's the best way to beat Chelsea.
It's not even Michy Batshuayi. Take out Kante out of that team. Just take out Kante. You will beat Chelsea. Look at him now. Look at him. How many matches we've been losing this year? How many points we've been dropping? Look at Kante. Kante has been out. Despite him not being in his best form. But you can see the impact he's making in that team.
Yeah.
You can all see. Now Kante is out of the team. Now look at the way we're struggling.
Yeah.
So that's the problem. Every team has a problem. Every team. Take Kevin De Bruyne out of Man City. It's game over for them. It's bye-bye. Bye-bye to them. Because he's that creativity player. That's what Liverpool need. They need a creative player that can open up spaces. Someone like this Watford team, they need a creativity that can open up their defense. Not a runner.
But it's just weird because, as Rasmus has actually just said in the comments, Liverpool after the winter break haven't been the same. In fact, they've become much worse. So Klopp was calling for winter break, and yet after the winter break, it looks like they're a completely different team. Against Madrid, against West Ham, even though they beat West Ham, there were still mistakes. Let's be honest, on West Ham, they got away with it at West Ham. So Watford, they've not actually played well. But anyway, we'll get Liverpool out of the conversation for because this is the Manchester United at the channel. Let's actually go to LASK, which is the top of Austria versus Manchester United. Now, Abdullahi, you said before I go into what I feel will happen and my take on it, I want you to say why Manchester United you don't think are favourites to win the Europa League.
Yeah, despite them, Bruno Fernandes and Odion Jude Igalo. United has been inconsistent this year. So despite them being inconsistent, so they haven't shown me the cut edge to say they are the favorite to win it. Because if you look at this Europa League tie now, there are some clinical and exciting teams there. If those teams face United, it's game over for them. It's game over.
So which teams do you think would give? Well, okay. First and foremost, do you think that Manchester United are going to beat LASK? Do you think they're going to beat LASK?
Yes, 100%. Yeah. But
if
you underrate them, you might get the surprise knocked out.
Okay.
If you underrate them, you might get it because I think that they are only the team that have never lost an Europa League match this year. They're the unbeaten team in the Europa League this year.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think that's and they are top because people say they only heard about Salzburg. Well, actually, LASK are actually top of the Austrian league. So
so they are top for something. If they are not good enough, they won't be top in the Austrian league. So I wouldn't put my money on United yet because I said it. My dream quarterfinal I want is Inter Milan United. That's what I want. But my dream did not come true because I want to see how good. Because I kind of understand we are hyping too much on Lukaku, but now he's facing his former team. Let's see how good he is. Because United dumped him now. Ole dumped him. It's not good for my team. I want him to go somewhere. Now Lukaku is playing against them. How good is he? That was the dream team I was looking for. I could not find. But LASK is a big test for you guys. My worry is will Ole underrate LASK? Or will LASK if LASK come on the Gengen pressing with you guys is a problem.
I don't think my opinion is I don't think that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will underestimate LASK. I do because for starters, one, I think he's thinking about his job. He's thinking about he's thinking, listen, I have a chance to get a Champions League spot, to get a trophy in my first season, to make success. Ole, as far as I'm concerned, is going to be thinking. I don't think he's thinking, this is going to be a walk in the park. oh, this is going to. I think right now, this is coming to the season. Ollie's thinking this is make or break. If I do well in these competitions, and I'm a Manchester United football club for another year, you know what I mean? You know, so I think that in itself will be motivation for him to take this, because we can see even against Club Brugge. You know, I actually thought that he was going to play a weaker team than he did. The team that he selected was pretty strong. He played Bruno Fernandes and Fred and Martial in that team. Yes, okay. I think did he West Wan-Bissaka? I think he might have rested Wan-Bissaka. I think so. But the point is that he still played quite a strong team against Club Brugge, even though I thought we were at home and I thought we were probably still going to go through anyway. But sorry, Rasmus says, by the way, he went for Salzburg and Frankfurt. It was Frankfurt, mate. It was Frankfurt. But yeah, I guess what I'm saying is I just don't think that he will underestimate. He won't underestimate this LASK, because I think he will feel that he needs to win. You know, and he needs to cement his legacy. And I think on top of that, it's just the idea of like, suddenly you have an ex-Manchester United player who has won a trophy for Manchester United.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You know, so which obviously Lampard and Arteta would even dream of doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
I get that.
So that's why I feel that. And I agree with you. I think that sorry, Footy Live, you there? Footy Live, you there?
I don't think it's there. No one's there.
Right, okay. So let me know if you're there in the comments. So yeah, I agree, but I agree with you that I think that Manchester United will go through against LASK. I do think they will go through. What I would say though is that, like you said, I wouldn't underestimate them, but also that I think personally Manchester United are one of the favourites to win the tournament.
I don't think so, because we have some good. This is United. When the Europa League start, I've been watching United play. I've kind of kept my eye close on them to see how good Ole has been doing. If a team like Bayer Leverkusen face you guys, it's game over. I'm being serious now. If Bayer Leverkusen face you guys, it's game over. Eintracht Frankfurt face you guys, it's game over. If Wolverhampton Wanderers face you guys, I'm being real now, it's game over for you guys. We kind of the way Ole is playing right now is game over, because those three teams I mentioned are clinical. They are clinical. Ole's your team are clinical. Yeah, they are really clinical, but not enough, because those teams you are playing, they're not gonna come out game press me. They will go defensive and go on a counter attacking with you guys, and you guys gonna collapse. So that's why I'm not gonna give United favorite yet. Not yet. No, not yet.
Okay.
Until maybe the quarterfinals, the semis, then I'll be like, maybe the ultimate favorite to win this.
Okay.
At the moment, no.
Okay. I've just added 30 live. Are you there? Jeez, we've been having issues with 30 live. We can't hear you, mate. Sorry, it must be your camera or mic or something.
Yeah, we can't even hear. I can't even hear you.
We can hear you, unfortunately. Sorry, mate. Okay. So yeah, I agree with what you're saying. I just think that Manchester United, with the run of form that they're on, the fact that we have more squad than winner, and also the fact that we have players coming back from injury. Yeah. Obviously, McTominay's going to be back. Pogba's going to be back. He's going to be back from next week playing. Martial's still here, so Manchester United's in a good place in that we're getting players. We've been inconsistent. You're right, because of tactics of players, but also a large problem because of injuries. But now we're coming to the end of the season where we're getting a lot of our players coming back from injury, going into the last part of the season. I think that will be a massive boost for Manchester United, in my opinion. You know, which is why
tomorrow match is a big boost for you guys, because Everton is a good team. Everton, they are very good team. They might not be good in defensive, but they are very, very good team. Wonderful team. The way Carlo Ancelotti has been, those people has been feeling under Carlo Ancelotti is really good. They were unlucky against Arsenal. They should have won that match. They were so unlucky to win that match.
Yeah, no.
So
I
tomorrow
agree.
Match is a big match for you guys. So it's a very. I don't know how Ole is gonna approach, but it's a very big match for you guys. Keep an eye on Richarlison. Keep an eye on him.
He will probably, like he's doing all season, actually set up, and I'll be doing a preview build-up show tomorrow. So, but he probably will be doing he'll probably set up as he's done away from home with a back three. Pretty live, you there?
Hello?
Yep, we can hear you. Awesome. Finally, you're on the show. We can hear you. We can hear you, mate. Finally. Right. Okay, cool. So we're just actually discussing Manchester United's chance against LASK, man, in the Europa League. What do you think about Manchester United's chances?
Well, they've got a good chance because they're not exactly the most highly rated team in it, are they?
Okay.
But when you look at it, you look at, say, Club Brugge, they're top of, say, their league. Yeah, it might not be one of the major leagues, but they have to be good if they're top of that league.
Yeah.
It's the same with LASK. LASK, yeah, the Austrian league, I think it is it?
Yeah, Austrian league, yeah.
Yeah, well, they're still top of that and cruising. It's as if it's like they're the Liverpool of, say, the Austrian league, for example.
Yeah.
No, it's not exactly. I think when you bring teams over to England and they're, say, away and they're not in, say, their own country and that, they find it a lot harder because they don't have that fan base and support behind them, if you get what I mean.
Okay.
And it's the same thing when we go away. When we go away to, say, Bruges and that, we didn't exactly play amazingly, say, in the second leg like we did.
Yeah.
But when we bring them home and we've got that crowd behind them, play a lot better. So it'd be interesting.
Fair enough. Yeah. No, I think you and Abdullahi are making very, very, very good points at Manchester United. Do you think? And I asked Abdullahi this. Do you think? Okay. Obviously, you're Manchester. Well, so I'm asking Pretty Live this stuff. Do this Abdullahi, but do you think that Pretty Live? Do you think that Manchester United are favourites to win the Europa League, given the remaining teams that are there?
I'd say the top three. I wouldn't say they're the favourite.
Okay.
Because you look at some of the teams, you look at, say, I know I can see the draw list and everything. You can see, say, Inter Milan. I know Getafe knocked out Ajax, which that was a major shock, really.
Yeah.
But I think Inter Milan, aren't they top of Serie A or they joint?
No, they're third.
They're third, yeah.
The third?
Yeah, they're third, yeah.
Oh, well, there was top at one point anyway, but look at the way Conte's got them played and everything. I'd favour them to, say, get to the final. But another team I'd put a shout out for is, say, Sevilla. I know we've had trouble with them with the Champions League when we got knocked out 2-1 because we definitely underestimated them. And of course, they went on that mad spree of 3 years to win this competition. So
yeah, of course they did. Yeah, that's true.
I won't put anything past them. But really, you'd want to try. I think we've had it a bit lucky from now on until, say when you look at, say, some other teams in other competition, you look at City and that they don't exactly draw the big boys over time. Yeah. So I think it's a bit of a culture shock, shall we say, that we're drawing a lot of, no offence to these rubbish teams, but we find it a lot harder to beat them sort of team.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, to be fair, what I would say is, to be fair to Club Brugge in particular, Club Brugge were in the Champions League. Obviously, they dropped, and they what did they do? They drew with Real Madrid at the Bernabeu, and there were any other results. They did one or two other things, but obviously they dropped into a league competition. So, but you're right, So I think overall, you'd expect Manchester United to beat these teams, and
for me, Red Devil,
yeah.
I think the team you should be afraid to, the team you should pray not to face right now is Bayer Leverkusen. Just pray not to face that team right now. Just pray, because that team are clinical. They are so clinical. That is the team you should do. In the next round of quarterfinal, you can face Inter Milan and get a chance against Inter. You can beat Inter and get a chance. But facing Bayer Leverkusen is a risk for you guys, because that team are clinical. If they go 1v1 with you guys, it's game over. I watched the Club Brugge games. There are some chances Club Brugge see that they can't even score. 1v1 with Harry Maguire, Romero. Yeah. Bayer Leverkusen seeing those chances, is game over. Those teams are clinical. They can slice team anywhere. You should be afraid of playing that. Do not even pray to face them. Don't even pray to face them.
Yeah. No, fair enough. Okay, we're going to bring the Europa League round of draw reaction to an end, and we're going to quickly go to the next segment, actually. I'll just get that. Where we basically it's can United actually get top 4 now? I think this is basically now going to get the Premier League table up actually, because I think it's very, very important given recent events and Rasmus A himself mentioning some of the key results from today, as you can see here. Rasmus A actually sort of saying, by the way, Leicester City dropped points yet again. Why should we aim for top 3 at this rate? So, Tommy, fully live, you there? See, not there. Okay, right, okay. Let me know when you're back, mate. Abdullahi, do you think that Manchester United, obviously, because you're obviously a Chelsea fan, Manchester United obviously are 4 points right now, the game in hand behind Chelsea, who barely managed to beat Bournemouth today, and obviously lost the 2 games. Obviously, there's this whole City thing, which is ongoing. Will they be in the Champions League or not? And we'll see what happens if that, with a 5th place is enough. But obviously, Leicester City themselves dropping points surprisingly against Norwich City, so they could come in. So, what do you think, Abdullahi? Do you think Manchester United can get top 4?
Let me say, is very tough right now, because after Everton, your next match is Manchester City, right?
Okay.
Right?
Yeah,
your
it
next
is.
match is Man City.
Yep.
So it's tough. After Everton, my next match is, I think, Aston Villa. So it's a little bit easier for me to get top 4. But the problem with Chelsea and United is consistency. That is the problem. I win today, United may go tomorrow and win. If I lose today, United may go tomorrow and lose. So it's consistency between the. If United can maintain the consistency they are now, it's good. Right now they are in good form now. If they lose tomorrow, it's gonna hurt them, because they are consistent. Their form will drop them.
I don't know. I disagree right now. I think United are going into the run of form, and I think, as I said in the Europa League reaction we just did, the United are in a good place because we're getting a lot of our players back. You know, aside from Marcus Rashford, we're not going to get to the end of the season. A lot of our players are coming back, which will give us more. Whereas obviously your Chelseas and your Tottenhams have got long-term injuries.
Exactly.
The other thing as well is that, for me, one of the big issues with Chelsea right now is that they don't really have anyone. I mean, the fact that Marcus Alonso is scoring goals, which is fine.
We don't have the top 9. Apart from Tammy Abraham, no one.
And he's injured still, isn't he? And even Tammy Abraham, when he played, where was he against Bayern Munich? Let's be real.
Exactly. He was even on the bench because he was even injured, and he came on to play. We also saw his impact. He was injured, so I understand. Tammy is the only clinical striker we have in the right team. That was what I would say as a Chelsea fan. No one. I'm saying that no one should put the blame on Frank. No, I'm gonna give Frank till next season. Give him the player he wants. Back Frank Lampard. Then when he lose, I'll be the first person to come out and criticize him if he lose. After giving the player he wants.
Let me just
now it's too early.
Let me just quickly.
It's too early right now.
Let me just quickly read out this comment by Red Devil Weekly. Shout out to Red Devil Weekly, and please head over to his channel to give him much love and support and subscribe, because he does a lot of good stuff on there. As soon as an opportunity for us to gain points on top of rises, I almost expect we're going to drop points. That is an interesting point, man. That's an interesting point. Footy Live, are you with us now?
Hello.
Yep, we can hear you now. Great. Awesome.
I'm having a nightmare.
What is it? Is it internet, or what is it? What's the issue?
Well, it's weather in England, isn't it? It just keeps going.
It's weather in England. Typical. Yeah.
England.
Typical England, man. No, I agree, man. So just over to you. It's interesting. We're talking about, can Manchester United. You can see the table here. Liverpool obviously will ignore them. City where they are. You got Leicester City and Chelsea and United. Leicester City dropping points against Norwich on Friday. Chelsea dropped more points. I mean, I'm looking actually Chelsea's Chelsea have lost. Is it 9 games? Is it?
Yeah, 9 games already.
9 games already.
I think the worst ever season under Roman Abramovich. I think after Goose Indic, or I'm not sure. That is the worst ever I've ever seen as a Chelsea fan, which is understandable.
Wolves have less losses. Wolves have only lost 6 games.
Yeah,
and they're not in the top 4.
Exactly, which is understandable because we got a transfer ban. We're gonna integrate those youth players into the frame, I understand. That is the
So,
reason.
so is that,
I understand.
then, so what's Sheffield United's then? Sheffield United got nowhere near as talented players as Chelsea have, and yet they're only about 5 points difference.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's normal. This is EPL, so it's understandable. I can understand. I can sincerely understand what's going on. So it doesn't get me kind of worried much because I understand the situation we are now as a Chelsea fan. Sometimes it may piss me off because there are some teams we can beat in this EPL. We've lost a lot of ground on them a lot. We should have been beating them hands down. But we're losing a lot of ground on them, which is pissing me off. I understand it's a transition period. We kind of have some off days today, good days today, tomorrow off days, tomorrow good days. So it's understandable for me. I sincerely understand it. But anything apart from the Champions League or next season is gonna be my priority right now. Because we need to make sure we get the summer transfer equipment right. We have to get it right.
Footy Live over. Sorry, I agree with you, man. For just over to Footy Live, just on this question. With obviously the results that we talked about, do you think United can basically push top 4, dethrone Chelsea? You know, maybe even get a top 3, as Rasmus they actually mentioned.
Well, one thing I'd want to say let's say it like this, right? You look at the impact of Bruno. We didn't have Bruno Fernandes, we wouldn't be where we are now. We wouldn't be playing where we are now.
That's true.
Right? If we'd have got him in the summer like we were linked with him, you think we'd still be in 5th place? With the way we're playing now, though.
Yeah, no, I think if we had bought Bruno Fernandes in the summer, we would be in top 4 easily. We would be top 4 easily.
Oh yeah. But like I say, you look at the table, you look at us, and you look at say 10th place. It's not like there's a massive movement of points, like you're 10 points clear of say Arsenal or anything.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It's like 4 or 5 points.
Yeah.
So like anybody from Everton to Leicester can get into the top 4.
That's a fair point, actually. I'm looking at a table, I'm scoring it down. You're right. Arsenal won 37 points. So if we lose and they win in the next game,
Arsenal are not playing this.
They're not playing. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, but but with obviously the game if they were, in theory, you're right. They'd only be a point behind us. So
it only takes one.
They're playing Man City, so they can't even beat Man City. The next match is Man City. They can't beat Man City.
But they'll obviously rearrange that. I think it'll be one of those that will be for something else. So, so Footy Live, with the squad that we have now, do you not think that United can push on for top 4? Are you confident?
Well, you've got 2 ways, haven't you? You've got Europa League, or you've got top 4, like you said. Preferably, we could do what say Chelsea did it last year. They got into the top 4, and they're still in the Europa League.
That's true.
And I think with some of the teams that are in the Europa League, you avoid not naturally. You normally play say a major name when you get to say the semi-final, like an Inter Milan or a Leverkusen or somebody. So I fancy chances in that. But when you look at the table, Leicester and City and Liverpool have both already qualified. There's no discussion about that. You look at Chelsea and you look at Leicester, it's only 4 and 8 points. So really, I think if I do a prediction, I think we'll get to the last 8 season and it'll be a shootout between us and Leicester, should we say? Because you've still got some big games to play.
Yeah.
You look at saying we've got that creator to break these teams down and to sit back against us.
Yeah.
Say Watford, they're not an attacking style team. You even looked at them against Liverpool, they didn't go all out in attack. They just moved the ball about. So if you look at it from say with Leicester, Leicester aren't playing well at the moment. They might have had a massive flurry and Leicester suddenly the only challenger for Liverpool. Doesn't look like that now. No,
exactly. They've got into an absolute slump actually. So as it seems that Liverpool potentially might have as well. So I'll just quickly share my opinion on whether United get to form. Then we're gonna end it with just a quick on whether United should go for both. So my quick opinion on this is as follows: is that I think the momentum right now is with Manchester United. I think the game against Everton is going to be a decisive one, because I think that if the United can go to Everton, to Goodison, and win, then I think that we're going to good shout, because we beat Manchester City away at the Etihad before, but I think, are they coming to Old Trafford? I think they're to Old Trafford. So
and they beat us in the first leg at League Cup.
The first leg League Cup, yes, it was. So it's not like it's impossible to go to, especially now that when we play City, Pogba will be back, Fred will be there, Fernandes will be there, so we'll be coming with a much stronger midfield and strike force team than we have the start. So that's one thing. But I think also the other thing is, for me, is that I think the other teams around United, especially Spurs, Chelsea, Sheffield United, and Leicester City, I think anyway, at least in recent weeks, have been more inconsistent. Chelsea for me have not shown. Today was a classic example. Like, they almost lost against Bournemouth. In the previous game, we beat. They beat Manchester United. Yes, they beat Spurs, but Spurs are all over the place as well. You look at Spurs all over the place. Sheffield United jumping to Brighton, and Leicester City losing to Norwich City. United clearly have the momentum with them, and I think the momentum and psychology is key in football. So even though United may have been inconsistent at the beginning of the season, even the middle part of the season, the fact that they have momentum with them now might carry them through. And for me, that's why tomorrow's game against Everton is important, because if they win that game, I think that confidence behind beating an away team like Everton, especially now that Everton are probably the Everton fans will probably be busy celebrating the fact that Watford beat Liverpool. They probably won't even care about the match tomorrow.
Yeah, but
we don't care.
But the way Ancelotti is playing with those Everton team, they have a chance of beating United, because Everton are not defensive; they are attacking team.
Yeah,
and you guys struggle a lot when a team attack you guys. That's the main worry. Harry Maguire needs is a commanding central back, someone he can talk to. I don't think Lindelof, Eric Bailly can be the long-term replacement for those Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire needs someone like Kalidou Koulibaly, someone he can when he make mistake, that can cover up for him.
Tuanzebe.
Exactly, Tuanzebe, someone like that. He needs someone like that. So playing Lindelof, Eric Bailly, I'm sorry, you can't do that. I keep saying it. You need to keep an eye on those two players only in that Liverpool team, in that Everton team, Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin. Those two players are dangerous. Those two of them and they are very good at set piece. That's where United struggles a lot. You guys, they can go on the counter with them, but Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin is the two most dangerous players in that team. If Everton score first, is a problem. That's the worry. If they score first, is the problem. Because now they have the momentum in them with their home fans and everything. My goodness.
And when you look at some of the other games and everything this season, whenever Manchester United have gone behind, the edge just go down. It's
exactly
dull place. The crowd just gets up, and then they just go on and lose it. Like, you look at, say, West Ham. West Ham aren't, an amazing European team or anything like we are. But they've got a massive stadium, they've got a massive fan base, and when the fan base gets behind them, then it hurts you, because as soon as they score, you're in trouble.
And
it happened exactly the last time against Everton last season when we lost 4-0. Exactly the same thing. They scored first, the heads went down. It were, we can't do anything now. We're already behind. They're playing amazingly and that, and then they just ran away with it.
Yeah.
Whereas you've got somebody like Bruno Fernandes who. As that
I think sorry for continue. I think tomorrow is gonna show how good Bruno Fernandes is, because Ancelotti is gonna target him. He's gonna be the one. He's gonna be the main focus. Ancelotti is not gonna focus on Martial, Danny James. He's gonna focus more on Bruno Fernandes, because he knows the creativity. What he's gonna tell his midfielder is go on Bruno. Maybe 2 or 3 players go on him. Just kind of do something like a rough play, mark him down, just mark him out of the team. Because they know if they take him out of the team, you can beat United, because he's the creativity play. That's what Ancelotti is going to be thinking. He won't think about Martial. Be like, leave Martial and let him do his job. Leave Daniel James to let him. It's going to be Bruno. Focus on Bruno.
the only thing I will say is this is why I'm really looking forward to when Paul Pogba comes back, because I think that when Paul Pogba comes back, because he'll be fit against City next week. That's what we were saying because he has to play because he wants to get into the France team, frankly. So he will. You'll now have essentially two creative players. You can play Bruno Fernandes, Pogba, and maybe Matic as a holding, or possibly McTominay or Fred as a holding. And suddenly you now have two incredibly creative players that will cause problems. Quick question, Abdullahi, sorry. Rasmus A says, Abdullahi, why can't Bailly be the suitable partner for Maguire, though? He's often great when he's fit and not injured.
No, for me, everybody he always lose focus a lot. It's not Harry Maguire is an experienced player. He knows how the EPL and other European teams have been playing. So for me, everybody is not the right partnership for Harry Maguire. I will go to Tuanzebe because Tuanzebe is a very good player. I've watched United a lot. Tuanzebe is very. In fact, if I'm a United fan, I will choose him ahead of Eric Bailly. Tuanzebe, I will choose him ahead of Eric Bailly because I know 1v1 with Tuanzebe, you can't go anywhere. Just like Wan-Bissaka. So I won't go full out on Eric Bailly because one is an injury-prone player. He can get injured anytime.
Okay.
So that's my worry about my Eric Bailly. He lost concentration a lot. That's my problem with him.
Okay.
I prefer Tuanzebe because Tuanzebe is young and he can easily develop a good relationship with Harry Maguire.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, I in my opinion, I respectfully disagree. I don't know what Footy Live, you there? You there, Footy Live?
Is he there?
He's not with us yet. Okay, but we'll come back to him. I disagree. But I respect your opinion because I do think that certainly in the games that Eric Bailly's played, he's shown that he's good on the ball, he's good in the air, and while he does take risks, he does. I feel like overall he's certainly a better defender than Lindelof. Overall, because I think that Lindelof's, for me, the big problem with Lindelof is that aerially he's not fine, and the big problem with both Maguire and Lindelof is that they don't have any pace. Whereas Eric Bailly has pacily. So does Tuanzebe, obviously. You're right. So but both Eric Bailly and pretty loud. Yeah, we're hearing it. We hear you now, man. Thanks for coming back. Internet issues. So last question. We go into last topic actually, and that is actually just a brief thing. It's basically top four versus Europa League or both. So, and I guess the question is, do you think that Manchester United can go for because there was a time, I think it was 2 years ago, Mourinho season. Mourinho prioritized Europa League, won that trophy, and did it obviously, as I think you said for the live and Abdullahi. Sarri got top four and got Europa League last season, so fair enough. So, but given where United are, given what they've been like this season, do you think it's reasonable that Manchester United should prioritize one or the other, or go for both? So I'll go with Footy Live first, just because we don't know when you're going to be cut out next. So you can have your say first, and Abdullahi.
I don't really know what to make of it though. When you look at it, with Europa League, it only takes 2 bad games and you're pretty much done. But you look at it the same with the league table. Where what I said, when you look at 10th place to 3rd place, you've got like a 4-point difference between team after team, and losing 2 games, it's losing 6 points. So it only takes 2 games either way. When you look at it. With Europa League, you'd fancy you can when you get to like the quarterfinal stage. That's when it starts to get serious because you're only 2 rounds away and you're in the final. So I think it'll come to a point where I think he'll get into the top 4. I think he'll get 4th place off Chelsea at some point, and then he's got to make a split decision. Either he puts all his eggs in the basket, like you said, Mourinho did with the Europa League, or he backs it with the league. But there's pros and cons to each. Europa League, you play less games than the league from now to the end of the season, but it's a lot harder because you play a lot harder teams and you have to go away. But there's always that factor of with the league, you can always fall back on it.
Mm.
I.e., one team slips up, you've got to capitalise on that. Today, you look at Leicester yesterday, slipped up. You look at today, Chelsea slipped up. You look at Spurs or Wolves tomorrow. One of them two are going to slip up, or both of them if they draw. So, but it's when teams drop points, you have to capitalise on them, and if you don't capitalise on them, you can't get anywhere. But
Agree.
if I was in Ollie's shoes and I had to choose either one personally, top 4 Europa League looks better because you've won a trophy. That'd be always in your mind. But do you want to play a bit more safer? Because if you can't get into the top 4 in your own league, it's a bit rubbish for a club like Man United. No offence. Yeah, you can win all the trophies you want, but if minimum expectation is finish in top 4.
Fair enough.
And with some of these teams there, Chelsea and that, regardless of it, Sheffield United don't have better players than Chelsea, like you referred to earlier. But they're playing a lot better than Chelsea, I would say. And it's the same with us. Out of all the teams that I said from 3rd to 10th right now, we're playing better than all of them. So if I was in all these shoes, personally, I'd go top 4.
Fair enough. Abdullahi, do you want to say your 2 cents, man?
Yeah, I think I'll go with what Futalive also said too. Because in the Europa League is let me see, it's like a knockout stage. Once one team beats you in the first leg, you have to make sure in the second leg give all you can give. Because if you don't give all you can give, if you concede, you're out of the equation. Now it's all about top 4. Top 4 is if United can be consistent. This is the worry for United: the lack of consistency. Chelsea do up one now. United may go tomorrow and lose or draw. That's United. That means United season. They could go there tomorrow and lose or draw. That's United season. That's the problem about consistency. That is what we need to tell them. We need to be consistent. We need to be consistent.
I agree with you. I don't think I would, given what Chelsea have just done, I don't necessarily think a draw is a bad result, because obviously if we draw, we'll still only be 3 points behind Chelsea.
You still gain.
Sorry?
Oh, no, you won't have gained, would you?
Well, say that again.
I said you wouldn't have gained points.
Exactly.
Of course. Right, yeah.
Yeah, but it's gonna be an issue for you guys because you are playing City next match, and City now you beat City twice. And what's gonna be on Pep Guardiola's mind is, I want to defeat United at Old Trafford. That's gonna be on his mind. So momentum is the key for you guys. Consistency is the key. If you lose against Everton now and you want to go to Man City and win them, it's not gonna be possible, because Guardiola be like, you guys have beaten me twice. I'm not gonna allow you guys to beat me for the 3rd time. It's not gonna happen.
It's true.
Pep is gonna come to Old Trafford and be like, I want to win. He wouldn't defend against you guys. He will come all out.
That's true.
Yeah, but that's playing into our hands then, because they say that we're a counter-attacking team.
Yeah, because
they did in the other 2 games.
Exactly, because you beat Pep twice now. He knows how you guys play. He's gonna study you guys now, because he knows how you guys play.
I think the difference though is, and I actually maybe suppose I side with Footy Live here, is that I again mentioned the idea that, like, for one, Paul Pogba's going to be back, and Bruno Fernandes is going to be in this team. So this is not the same. So you're right about Pep Guardiola. He was studying, but this is not the same Manchester United team. You know, Manchester United beat Pep Guardiola, United City, with a very weak team compared to what we have now. So the fact that we actually have a stronger team now, you know,
exactly.
You know what I mean?
With United is, Paul Pogba will not start next week. He will come from the bench.
Yeah,
he won't start.
He won't.
He just came back from injury.
He won't.
No. So this is how Pep Guardiola is gonna beat you guys. It's not gonna tell his defender to defend. He will probably watch your match over and over and over again. He knows. Pep knows Bruno Fernandes is the key for United. So he's gonna tell his player, maybe Fernandinho or maybe Rodri, go and meet Bruno Fernandes. Go 1v1 with him. Just take him out of the game. That's what Pep is gonna tell his player. It's not gonna tell them to defend.
Oh, sorry, Abdullah. Sorry to interrupt. Just interrupt. Joe Abrams, comment. Shout out to you, mate. Is Sancho possible if we get top 4? I'll just get that to. So just quick response. Yes, and then Footy Live response to that.
You look at what Abdullah just said, where Pep will come back with a different game plan to what he's done the other times. But we played right. You look at it like this. We played City 3 times. Solskjaer's won and schooled Pep twice, and Pep's only won once. Yeah. When you look at it from a tactical standpoint, Pep Guardiola plays possessive-based football, and then he tries to attack. Exactly the same as Liverpool. The near enough mirror image. So when you look at Manchester City, they come at us like they did in them other 2 games. We just hit them on the counter-attack. The only problem this time is you don't have your quick, nitty players. You don't have, say, Martial. You don't know if he's going to be back by then. Yeah. You don't have Rashford.
One thing. Sorry to interrupt you, Tim. One thing big to know about City in particular is that Laporte is obviously out. He is injured. Yes. So that is something that people bear that in mind, So
Fernandinho is good at defending. Also, it's kind of good with what's called with what's that central defender? Fernandinho and what's called what's the name?
Otamendi.
Rodri.
They've been playing very well. So Rodri can even play as a central back too. So Pep Guardiola has a lot of options. This is where Pep is a very good manager. He studies a lot of. He studies team very well, and he knows how to beat him. It won't go defensive with you guys. Because you guys are gonna go defensive against him, and you're gonna play in his hands.
So, Philly Live want to say something? Okay, I'll go into Philly Live. Say your piece.
Yeah, why would we go defensive against him when we didn't do that the other 2 times? Even the time when we got beat in the Carabao Cup first leg, we didn't even go defensive. That's not even in the case anymore. And like I said before, Bruno Fernandes is the key to Manchester United. To their creativity and the attacking play. I wouldn't say it's just Bruno Fernandes. I've looked at the last 2 games. You look at when we played Bruges and you looked at when we played Watford. Look at Juan Mata. Right, I'll say this now. Look at Mata. Mata has been one of the best creative players in the Premier League. No, I'm not saying European. In the Premier League since he's been in England. You look at his time at Chelsea and you look at his time at United. He's been arguably one of the best creative players, right, of that period. He might not be at his best now, might be past his best. But when you look at that goal that Igalo scored, I think it was Igalo, yeah. Igalo, when Fernandes put the ball over for Mata, and then Mata put that key pass in there for Igalo, that's what you call a creative duo. So I wouldn't just say Bruno Fernandes is the key. Because when Mata is on, and Fred's on, and like you say, when Pogba's on, it's a completely different team. Paul Pogba, you saw what Paul Pogba did in that major spell where we went on, say, an 11 or 12 game unbeaten run under Solskjaer. You saw that Paul Pogba. You get that Paul Pogba, and you get that, and you got McTominay with the way he's been playing this year, and you get Bruno Fernandes. Pep Guardiola as midfielders will not be able to handle them. I don't care how good Fernandinho's been for them. Or say Kevin De Bruyne, because we've got better defenders than Manchester City. I'll say that.
I think they have a better attacker than you guys and better midfielder.
No. I would disagree with that. I think in terms of finishing right now, I think assuming Martial playing, because obviously I agree Jesus and Aguero are better than Igalo.
Oh yeah.
I would argue Martial's finishing is much better right now than Aguero's and Gabriel Jesus's.
Greenwood.
Not peak Aguero. Peak Aguero is top. But right now, Greenwood is obviously there, but Martial is a better finisher, a better clinical finisher than what the Man City forwards have right now.
But the problem with Martial is it's not consistent enough. That's the problem with Martial. It's not
not consistent. He scored in the last 3 games. He scored in his last 3 appearances.
The problem with Martial is
I think what Abdullah should say is like over the whole season.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I agree.
Exactly. It's not been consistent enough that I can rely on. This is my number 9. Exactly.
No,
but that I can rely on and say, this is my number 9. I can put my if Rashford is out now. The pressure has been on Martial to score because he's been delivering, but it's gonna be a day when it's not gonna deliver at all. That's gonna be a worry for you guys. Be like, we need a new number 9. We can't rely too much on Antonio Martial.
I think the only thing to say is that with Martial, I feel that Martial, much like Innocent Pogba, plays better when he has better players with him. So obviously when Rashford was playing, Martial picked up. When Pogba was playing, Martial picked up. So it's going back to what I'm saying before, where the Manchester United team that's going to be playing against City is going to be one of the strongest teams we would have had all season, because so many of our players are back. So many, so you can throw Bayern in defense if you want. our midfielders back. Like the team that we played against Manchester City before is not the same team that we're going to play against now with the options that we'll have. And
exactly.
so you know, so if we lose against City, fair enough. But this will be a team that will have creative players that will be able to create chances, that will be able to go and cause problems. It'll be a team that, because to be honest, the only reason why Pep Guardiola beat us last time was because what he did tactically was he basically overloaded our midfield.
Yes.
He overloaded our midfield in that game. They put an extra midfielder, and he doesn't use it. And this is the thing, and that's, to be fair, credit to Oli in a sense that, well, it was discredit to Oli, so he should have realised it sooner because he didn't play Matic. When Matic came on, we actually stabilised the game because it was
because he's a holding midfielder and he knows what he's doing, and he can break up the play.
Exactly.
And that's why De Bruyne didn't have a sniff in that second half.
Exactly.
That's why they didn't score again.
Exactly. That's why for me, if I'm Oli, I don't play through at the back. I actually play Matic as a holding midfielder, and I play Bruno Fernandes and Pogba if he's fit. If not that, then you play Fred or something like that and go all out. And possibly McTominay. I don't know if you can drop Fred. That's just the only thing. I don't know whether you can drop
that's
Fred.
The thing now. We've got. It was as if at the start of the season we didn't have enough midfielders that they weren't good enough. But now we've actually got some midfielders who are good enough.
Exactly.
So we've got a selection. You know, you could play, say, McTominay, Fred, and Fernandes, because that trio hasn't actually played together yet.
Yeah,
you don't know how that'd work. You've played Matic and Fred and Bruno, but you don't know. There's all different combinations you could try, and that's why I think Liverpool's midfield are so good as they are so far, because you look at the amount of midfielders Liverpool have: Henderson, Milner, Wijnaldum, Keita, Lallana. How many midfielders they've got? And they all rotate. Why squad depth is key in football. You don't have squad depth, you don't have like quality depth. Like you look at Man City, they could bring on a whole different attack force off the bench if they wanted to. They've got players for every single position, but they're quality players. Whereas you look at Man United, this is why they need to go out in the market and get players. Because you look at any team in Europe, they have a backup for every position near enough. Every top team. If you don't have that, that's when players start getting burnt out. And I want to bless Daniel James, for example. He's a young lad. He's 21, 22 years old. I don't know if he's turned 22 yet or out. He's a young lad and he's still in development. But he's having to play basically every game because of what's happened with Rashford, obviously. But one thing that I would say is, you said about Pogba and Bruno playing together. Ighalo and Martial play together. That is what you call two centre forwards, two strikers. Martial can play off of each other. Ighalo's is that kind of player, that kind of striker. When you look to him at Watford, he's always in the box. He's always there. Tap it in like he did against Bruges. Look at Martial's more of a, he wants to drop deep and try and make something happen. Like,
or coming from the left, I think.
Set up for somebody else. And that's why I think you play them two together, and you play Fernandes, and you play Pogba, like you said, it'd work a lot better.
No, I agree. Abdullahi, do you want to last couple of points on that? And I'll make a closing statement.
He's good, but I think for me, Ole needs to play maybe like a 3-5-2 formation. Play Martial and then Odion Ighalo more. Because for me, Bruno needs to play as a number 10. When Pogba is fit, play McTominay and Paul Pogba together. Then play Bruno in like a number, like a creative number 10. Let him have the freedom. Let him have the freedom of roaming about, going anywhere. So it makes it easier for you for the dynamic of the team, because now Bruno can play from anywhere. If he plays number 10, he can shoot, he can pick up a pass, he can score from anywhere. So playing Bruno as like a 4-2-3-1 formation will not work. Play him forward, maybe like number 8, number 10. Then you can see the best out of Bruno Fernandes very, very well. But this is the mental correlation I'll make, because now people will not put too much eye on Bruno. But next season is gonna be the key, because people's gonna put an eye on it a lot.
But you look at next season, you're gonna have a transfer window. Well, no, Man United aren't gonna go through, say, the summer transfer window, not buying anybody. They're going to buy players. It's still Man United aren't where they need to be now. It's a rebuild process, but it's the first. Like Ollie said, he took 2 steps back to go. No, he took a step back to go 2 steps forward. Or were his words? Where he took a step back by getting rid of the players that he got rid of, Herrera, Fellaini, Lukaku. But now he's replaced them, and you can see that step forward where he's brought in, say, Bruno, he's brought in Igalo, only on loan, but we'll probably go and make it permanent or go and buy another striker in the summer. But you look at the summer market, like Abdullah just said, with Bruno, next year's going to be the major test. I wouldn't say not just for him, I'd say for the whole team, and I'd say for Ollie as a manager, because he's had the transfer windows, he's had money. But you look at the 5 players that he's bought, James, Maguire, Wan-Bissaka, Bruno and Igalo. Name me one of them 5 players that's been bad for us. Name me one of them 5 signings. You can't name any of them. Because they've all been key to the success this season. And when you look at it in the summer, like I think somebody made a comment about Sancho coming if we get top 4 and that. Them major players need. Well, it's not a case of they need to play in the Champions League. You look at Aubameyang at Arsenal. He's staying. A player of that quality doesn't stay. And you look at it, say, with
like I said, won't stay also. He wants to go to he wants to play Champions League. So Arsenal needs to sell to buy.
Yeah, that's it. And they've got young players. It's the same with Man United. You look at the youth players. You look at say players that's come out of it, say Greenwood and Garner and that. But when you look at it, say with the scouting, since Ollie's come in, the scouting and say the what's the
oh my
department?
God, my internet is fluctuating. I'm back, guys. My internet. I need to fix my internet.
All right, okay. I'm gonna wrap things up anyway. So, but thanks, Abdullahi, for joining us on the previous hangout. You take care of yourself, man. Thank you for being on the show. Take care, man. Pretty live as well, also, man. Appreciate it. So, I think final comments from me. Just regarding, I guess, a question is that I think that Manchester United should go for both. Much like Chelsea did last season, because I think that we have the squad depth now to go for both. And the only thing I would say I would change my mind is if for some reason from now to the end of the season we have a massive injury crisis, and it's not particularly clear, then we might obviously have to pick one. But right now, I would argue that top 4 probably looks easier than the Europa League, even though there's less games. I think that when you look at the I think it's just more the fact that I look at Leicester City, as Rasmus A said regarding Ferd and stuff like that, and I even look at Chelsea. I look at the teams that they've lost against. Yes, I know we've lost against West Ham and Burnley and all these other teams, but I just think that this was
different now.
It's different. It is different now because we've got Bruno Fernandes. We're getting players back. Like, it's different because the team is different in a way.
And the players that we've brought on previous occasions have got better. People say Matic is dead. Last 3 games Matic has played, he's been a key player in that midfield.
No, I agree.
Same with Fred. As soon as Mourinho was gone, it was Fred this or Fred that. £50 million flop, all this. Are people saying that now? No. Because he's actually doing something. He's putting the work in. And I think the major thing that comes down to is fitness. Man United players, how many injuries have we had this season? Players, right? And they've been muscle tears or they've been just fatigueness. You look at Liverpool. Liverpool hardly get injuries. That's because Klopp had the time to get his players' fitnesses up, get the right players in. And the 5 players that we've brought in are 5 ready-made players, 5 fit players who are already in there. When you look at some of the when you say about the summer window and that, players like Sancho and that, they have to play Champions League. And I think Man United, either way, Europa League or top 4, they will get the Champions League because the way that we're playing at the moment, the appeal of the club. And when you get that Champions League, you can attract any player in the world. You know, even you look at, say, this is a bit unrealistic and it wouldn't happen. And I wouldn't want it to happen anyway. Look at, say, Lionel Messi. Let's say Lionel Messi wants to look for a new club. Manchester United would be an option because you've got the Champions League. You've got the money. You've got everything. You've got the bargaining chips, as I say. You've got the bargaining chips, like Liverpool. Liverpool were in the Champions League when they were rebuilding. They've been in the Champions League 3 consistent years. And when you have that Champions League status and you have that heritage of the club, like we have, we're just exactly like Liverpool. Yeah, Liverpool might be better at the moment, but saying that I've always kept since Liverpool built their bridge, we say, was it's short-term pain for long-term gain with Manchester United. Short-term is Liverpool are going to win the league, City, and they're going challenging for the Champions League like that. But with the vision that Ollie's got and with the players that we brought in, you can see that with Man United. You can see it 2 or 3 years. I say it now. I'll come back on this channel in, say, 2 years if you're still doing it. And I bet you will be where City are, where Liverpool are, challenging for the title. Because you look at key players, right? Ollie's got the money there. They wouldn't have backed him. If they wouldn't have backed him in the January window, it was a dead man walking.
Yeah, I agree.
You wouldn't have had Bruno, you wouldn't have had Igalo, you wouldn't have nobody. It was a dead man walking and it was Pochettino in the door in the summer. Yeah, I agree. And that's another thing. You talk about manager replacements. Ollie's only on a 3-year contract. He's already had 14 months. So at the end of the season, I think the season in the way is 4 months or something now. So they've had 18 months. So they've had a year and a half. So he's halfway through. So he's halfway. Give him this full contract. Give him another year and a half. Give him another year and a half. Give a manager his full contract out and see where you are. That's what Liverpool did with Jurgen Klopp. When Klopp came in the 15-16 season, I think they gave him a 3-year contract and they let him see it out. And then they got in a better place and then they gave him another contract. And then you look where he's brought them now. It's not a quick fix. It's not like you click your fingers and shabam, you're at the top of the league. It takes time. It's same when you look at Arsenal. Arsenal are in a similar predicament to us, but I think we're in a better position than Arsenal. Arsenal, it's going to take 4 or 5 years because they've got owners who don't care, exactly like we do. We're so similar, us and Arsenal. We're so similar, but I think we've pushed that yard a bit ahead of them from now. And when you start leaving these teams in the dust, it starts to get better. And like I said before, you attract these certain players, you get these players through the door, they make your team better. And like Abdullah said before he went, he said about Bruno when next season is the major test. You put players in that team like Rashford, who's not there. You put players in there like Pogba. But you add to the squad as well. You get players in, say, Grealish, Sancho, Igalo on a permanent deal. You get all these players in. We will not be in the same position that we are now. We'll be where Leicester are, but we'll be a lot further forward.
No, that's fair enough for stuff. I completely agree with you, and I think as you said, I mean, and I was saying, although I don't think that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is, I think, a long-term manager to take Manchester United forward, in my opinion, with the coaching team. I do agree with you in that. I think that if he gets top 4, he gets it, then we should let him see out his contract, because at the very least, what he'll hand over to the next manager potentially is this club that is basically stable, that has got good players, that's got a good foundation, and then almost like Brendan Rodgers to Jurgen Klopp in a way, in where like you've got a foundation.
Same with Tottenham. Pochettino's built that team up, and Mourinho's to cover. It's exactly the same.
Though Mourinho looks like he's going to probably tear it back down, but anyway. But you know what I mean? Like if we bring in a good manager, then that could take that team forward, and then people will look at this tenure that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had as arguably the defining period in Manchester United's recent history, because that's where the turning point happened from a team that was going all the way down to a team that's obviously sort of fighting back. So fair enough.
One thing that I like to say is, you said about Solskjaer isn't the man in your opinion. Yeah, you're entitled to your own opinion and everything. That's fair.
Long term, that's what I mean. Long term. Yeah.
But you look at it with Solskjaer. Solskjaer is, from what I saw, I class him as an attacking style manager. Yeah, he's counter-attacking, but he hasn't got the players yet. But you look at the players that he's brought. When Bruno wasn't here and Igalo wasn't here, we was a counter-attacking team. Now we're an attacking team. You look at the way we knocked about Watford and you knocked about Bruges, 3-0, 5-0. That's what different players can do. And you say about you don't think Ollie's the man for the long-term vision. Personally, I'll be honest, I'll agree with you on that. I don't think he is either. Because I think there's bigger and better options out there. But it depends what manager you get out there.
Yeah, of course.
Because long term, if you're saying long term, let him see out his contract and that. Pochettino might be in a job by then. Allegri or whatever, Nagelsmann, Tuchel, whoever you go for, they might be in jobs then. So it depends who you're going to get at that particular time. So
that's true, but a year and a half is a long time, and you obviously don't know what other managers, even in world football and stuff like that, are out there that might just so happen to announce themselves. As you said, Nagelsmann, it's more of like a recent thing, for example. So, I've always said that I want a manager, not necessarily that won trophies, someone who, I almost want, in a sense, the next Jurgen Klopp, someone who's a charismatic go-to that can really take them and can re-energize, and bring the positivity almost back to Manchester United, So
and you need that manager with a bit of character and a bit of something about himself.
Yeah.
Look at Klopp, he's got that set. Shall we say, when you look at a press conference, he goes on have a bit of fun, a bit of banter with the press and that.
Yeah.
That's somebody that you need. You need that positivity.
Exactly.
You need that head figure. But the thing with Klopp is, 1 minute it can be nicest man you'll ever meet.
Yeah.
1 minute when Liverpool's losing, he proper puts it on and he turns around. He's almost like the Terminator, who can be happy 1 minute, next minute he's the devil. So you look at, say, Nagelsmann. Personally, I'll be honest, Nagelsmann, when you look at Nagelsmann and you look at Klopp, they're so similar with the way they set up the teams, the way they play. Timo Werner is not a goal scorer. RB Leipzig, for me, is a linking striker. Kind of like Martial. But it's the same with Firmino at Liverpool. Firmino's not a goal scorer. If Firmino wasn't in that front three, it wouldn't work because there's no striker to link it up. And that's the difference between attacking styles. You can have an attacking style like Tottenham's got, where you've got one goal scorer and you've got providers. So you've got Harry Kane as the goal scorer and you've got Son and Moura as providers. But you look at Liverpool, they've got wingers as scorers and they've got a creative striker. So there's all different patterns and different ways you can work it.
No, I agree with you, mate. Right. Time is out, but thank you so much for being on the show. Same to you, Abdullah, as well. We'll hopefully be doing more of these Saturday night with these call-ins, and we discuss a lot of these topics. Stay tuned, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for watching and listening, tuning as well. If you're new to the channel, please like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studio. Follow us on Twitter, United X, and on Twitch as well, Red Devils Studio. We will be live again tomorrow, where we'll be doing a match preview build-up to the Everton game, a watch-along, and a post-match reaction. So, yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Have a nice evening, guys, and cheers.